Hi and welcome. This is Shauna. Thank you for joining Live the Season Life. Hopefully your new favorite food and lifestyle channel. Most recently, we've been talking about all things planners, and I thought the last video was going to be my last video on planners, but alas, here we are. So I wanted to share with you a few things that I've learned. I have been living with this planner for the past 2 or 3 weeks in its new configuration, and I wanted to share with you 10, yes, 10 things that I have learned about using the planner and things that I've decided, I thought I could use that or I thought I could do that, but that's just not going to work. And I've had to kind of reset and reevaluate. I wanted to share those things with you, and hopefully that can be helpful to you in your planner process. So if that type of content interests you, please be sure to hit that like button. Please be sure to share. And by all means, if you would consider subscribing, I greatly appreciate it. Okay, stay tuned. Let's get started. If you've been following this journey, then you know that I have an A7 size planner. I keep it in this lovely quilted vegan leather cover, which I absolutely adore. And in the front of my planner, I have my planner table of contents. And this just tells me what all the sections are in my planner. Now, when I was going through and building this, I saw and was inspired by a lot of content creators that have a section in their planner referred to as brain dump. And the point of this section, which for me was section 6, the point of this section is to have a place in your planner where if you just need to get some ideas out, or if you just need to brainstorm, or if you just need to kind of jot something out real quick, you have a place in your planner that's not designated for something else where you can dump those ideas. Well, I found in the past couple weeks, I haven't even touched that section. I haven't looked at it. I haven't needed it. I haven't used it. So I have decided that since I have erasable pens, I can get rid of that section, and I'm going to do that. And as you can see, my planner, she's not horribly massive, but she's also not skinny either. So there's no need for me to carry around extra stuff that I don't need. So I'm going to just take my erasable pen here and say bye, Felicia, to brain dump and extra paper, because like I said, these are sections of my planner that I find myself not using. And because this is my planner and my rules, just like your planner is your planner and your rules, if I need it later on, I can always add it back in, not a problem. Okay, so be sure to edit your planner and make sure that it works for you. If it doesn't work, or if you're not touching it, not using it after a week, 2 weeks, or a day even, get rid of it, scratch it, move to something else. Second tip I have for you is to reduce redundancies and use what you have. I only keep 2 months worth of content in my planner at any given point in time. And when I say 2 months of content, I mean a month at a glance and daily sheets for 2 months, which means that if something is happening 3 months from now, I don't have, or I thought I didn't have anywhere to capture that. And I was really running into this issue where I kept having dates and activities and things that were popping up 2 or 3 months down the road, but I wasn't able to account for it in my planner because I only keep 2 months at a time. Now, I also keep a year at a glance in my planner. And it's funny because when I originally created this section or created these pages for year at a glance, I saw it as a place to keep track of major holidays, major birthdays, big trips, things like that, like large ticket items that I needed to be aware of in months down the road. But it occurred to me, wait a minute, this is my planner. I can use it the way I want to. I don't have to leave my year at a glance to capture just those large ticket items. I can capture smaller items as well. So if there's a webinar that happens in October and I don't have a layout for October built yet, I can just go into my year at a glance and add it there. So this is my year at a glance, and I love this column format. I created this myself, but you can actually purchase this from Organized Money, and I will link her information down below. These are wonderful. I think you can order them from her shop where you can download it and print it yourself, or you can order it such that she prints it for you and mails it to you. But what I've been able to do here is capture not just the next 3 months, but also through the entirety of 2027 as well. So I can plan out as I need. So little things like, for example, on September the 1st, I need to make sure that I'm checking up on my car registration. Long story. For whatever reason, they're supposed to mail the bill to us every year and we never get the bill, which is strange. So I have to go down to the DMV every September 1st just to make sure that our bill, pray for me on that. But that's something that I can capture in my year at a glance. There's a webinar that I want to attend that comes up in November. I have nowhere else to catch it. I can put it right here in my year at a glance, and that way I keep it on my mind or keep it documented somewhere so that I don't forget when I'm going through my planner and planning for my next week and my next month to include those particular items. So be sure to think creatively about what you have in your planner and how you can use them in ways to meet your needs. And sometimes it's just a matter of as you're working in your planner, thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I wish my planner did this, or I really am missing that. Think about how you can incorporate the this and the that in the content, in the materials that you already have. For my Sunday reset, what I normally do is I close out my to-do list and then I start a new to-do list for the following week, set priorities for the following week, and then also scan the next 2 weeks just to be abreast of any possible surprises that may be coming up. And I have all that documented, all those things that I do during my Sunday reset. It's all right here on my routines. I've written it down for myself so I don't forget, because I'm likely to forget, right? That's the whole reason we do all of this. So when I say closing out my to-do list items, let me show you what that means. I keep my to-dos on my daily calendar. So when I look at my daily spread, this is what it looks like. It's a little empty right now because I haven't really done my planning, but this is one day. Oops. I have one day here, one day here. This smaller page in the center is my to-do list. And when I'm thinking about my to-do list, what I normally do is write my long list of to-dos, and this list grows as the week grows. So if anything comes up during the week, I add it to my to-do list, and then I figure out when I'm gonna actually get it done. Now, when I close out this to-do list for the week, for as part of my Sunday reset, I will look at the items that are listed here, figure out what's done, check it off if it hasn't already been done, and then if there are things that have not been done, I will move it to the next week. That actually leads me into my next tip, which is to have a process for your to-do list. When I move this on to the next week as part of my reset process, what I will do is, if it's something that I haven't completed during that week and it's the second week that it's on my to-do list, what I will do is write second week next to it. If you can read my chicken scratch, I will write second week next to it on my to-do list. So that way I know this is the second week this thing has been on my to-do list. If it needs to actually move to a third week, I have some decisions to make, because for whatever reason, I'm not getting it done. So I need to figure out how to get it done without me doing it, because obviously I don't want to do it. Either that item needs to be delegated to someone else, or it needs to be outsourced, or I ask myself the deep question of, is it really an item that needs to be done at all? Maybe it doesn't, in which case you cross it off your to-do list or erase it and you get rid of it, and you don't have any guilt about it because you evaluated that item and that to-do is thereby considered done. So as part of my Sunday reset, I have closed off my to-do list items. I have started a new list of to-do list items, things that weren't completed in that week. I've marked second week to the things that move on to the next week. And however you wanted to note your second week items or third week items, or if you don't even want to use that kind of process, by all means, do what works for you. Just have some sort of process that, in my opinion, you should write down, because otherwise you will forget if you're like me. Now, one thing that I've been kind of struggling with is, what about those items that are recurring items that stay on the to-do list every single day? For example, we're having an issue with one of our HVAC systems, and I have had to call the manufacturer every single week so that they're aware that I'm aware that they haven't fixed my problem yet. That is an item that I have recurring, and so I just keep it on my to-do list. Every single week I add it to the top of my to-do list. It doesn't mean that it's not getting done, but it means that there's never going to be a check mark by it, because I don't want my brain to think that, oh, check mark means it's done. No, because I still need to call them next week, if that makes sense. So for any of you who are capturing recurring items on your to-do list, how do you manage that? Because aside from just writing the thing at the top of the list and just keeping it up there, I'm not quite sure what to do. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you do to manage recurring items? My next item, this occurred to me 2 or 3 days ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the most duh, why wouldn't you do that? So I showed you before my list of routines and things that I'm supposed to do daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. What I did is I took a picture of this, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to tell me, where do you see redundancies? What is confusing? And how can I make my planner process more productive? Oh my gosh, I had so many great ideas. One of those ideas was to incorporate the Sunday reset process. So I encourage you, within reason, I mean, if it's too sensitive of information, of course, use your discretion on whether or not you want to upload it. But for this, for me, uploading a ChatGPT was fabulous. So that way I could get really great ideas on how to improve the productivity of my planner process, how to improve my productivity overall, because I'm able to account for the things that I didn't realize were making life more confusing. If you're interested to know the exact prompts that I use when I uploaded my routines to ChatGPT, comment down below. I'd be happy to leave that information for you so that you can use it for your planner process and hopefully come up with some great ideas to improve your productivity. Okay, a few more items here. The next one, It's going to involve some manual labor, okay? Take this thing, you know that tote bag that you have that you love to carry? Put your planner in it and take it with you for the first, I don't know, 3 weeks if you can. Keep your planner with you. When you get to work or you get to whatever your space is, take it out, open it up, and set it on your desk. Set it right next to your workspace. You will visually be reminded to use it actively while you're going through the course of your day. Visibility is vital to your ability to actually use the planner and make the best out of it. Look at it this way. If you've gone into a museum, one of the first things that you'll get when you purchase your tickets is either a physical printout or a QR code to a map. And that map will allow you to understand where all the exhibits are in the museum, where all the shows are in the museum, where all the features are in the museum, where the restrooms are, the emergency exits, all that information. All that information is in something that has been created for you that gives you that direction. Use your planner as the guide to your day. This is the map to your day and to your life. That is how you have to treat this. So when you have it visible and you have it open, that's going to make a huge difference, because if it's closed, you're not going to see what's in it. You're not going to look at the calendar. You're not going to look at your to-do list. The only way for this to get used is if it's open somewhere. And for me, it has been vital to schlep this thing like Linus with his blanket everywhere that I go, and constantly go into my planner, even if there's nothing I need to do, just to double check and confirm what I have, because that helps me to keep this forward in front of mind so that I actually use it. Visibility is important, and it also shows that this is what you prioritize because you keep it with you and you actively use it. But you can't use your planner actively if it's closed in your desk drawer 2 rooms over from where you do the majority of your work. That has been the only way I've been able to create a system that works for me and actually keep up with it. The next tip that I have is, if you have kids or significant others that live with you or around you, train them to also respect your planner. And this is not in a forceful way, but what I mean by that is the next time that your kid says, "Mommy, can we go to the movies tomorrow?" The response should be, "Sweetheart, can you grab me when I'm in my planner, and that way we can look at a date that works for us to go to the movies?" Or my favorite for my kids, "Hey Mom, can I go to Five Below and use that gift card that Grandma gave me?" Yes, you can, but let's go to the planner and figure out when is a day that makes sense for us to be able to go and to do that. For my kids who are 11 and 13, it literally only took me twice of responding that way before they started leading with, "Hey Mommy, can you check your planner to see if there's a day that we can go to the store or go to the movies?" Or, "Hey Mommy, can you check your planner and see if there's a good day next month that we can go hang out with this friend from school or that friend from gymnastics," or whoever. It has made a huge difference, and it also takes the pressure off me as a parent to have to quickly think and decide yes or no, can we go do the thing. My next tip has to do with Google Calendar, Outlook calendars. How does that sync up? How does that work with your planner? It's complicated. Every family is going to be different. I know for my family, my husband and I keep a Google Calendar for our home. And that's something that he and I use to keep track of when he's out of town for something, when I'm out of town for something, some of those larger ticket items, right? My kids are too young, or they're not at a stage of life where they're actively using Google Calendar. So there's no sense in having a calendar for them. If your kids are older, that might be a different story for you. I don't know that I have a solution for this. All I have to say is what is working for me is to take the tedious route. I have in my planner process that every day, I need to go in and add schedule items from my Outlook and from my Google Calendar and put them into my planner. And to be clear, I'm not putting all the juicy details of the Outlook work-related item from my Outlook calendar into my planner. I'm just putting a block or a section that accounts for the fact that during that time, I'm busy doing a work-related item. So that might look like, on this particular date in June, I had to make sure that my kid was at camp for this earlier section of the day. But as you can see, I had a 10 o'clock meeting with a woman named Chamley, who is absolutely fantastic. It was a work-related item. So I'm not putting all the details behind the meeting with Chamley in here, or even the Zoom information or any of that stuff. I'm just accounting for the fact that that meeting happened at 10 o'clock on June 15th. So that's important to me in terms of how I'm able to account for those particular items. And that specifically is an Outlook item that I had to grab my pen and write it down in my planner. Is it ideal? No. Is it the most efficient thing to do in the world? No, it isn't. But for me, I found it's absolutely necessary. I know there's that thing out, that Limelight calendar, which I have a friend of mine who swears by it. And it allows her to interface with the Google Calendar and the Outlook calendars and have everything on this monitor that sits in her kitchen, and all of her kids and her husband and everybody can be on track with everything. That works for them. God bless them. I was going to get a Limelight calendar, but I already knew I was going to spend $400 or however much that thing costs, and I will be the only person to use it. So there's no need in me wasting that money, or for me, it will be a waste of money in terms of how my family works and how my system is set up to invest in that kind of system. Although I would love for that to work, I already know that it's not something that the whole family would use. The most that I've been able to do so far is during the summer months, I will print out a physical calendar that has all the kids' camps listed and all the schedule listed when we're going out of town, those things listed, so the kids can look at that. And honestly, they only look at it maybe once a week, maybe, just to keep an eye on what's happening. But by and large, they're off enjoying their summer, as they should. They are kids. But for me, it's important that at the end of my day, when I am planning for the next day or just kind of taking an assessment of what happened during that current day, is just to go ahead and anything that's in my Outlook calendar, go ahead and put it in my planner. Just account for the time so that way I can keep everything on track. Now, I am curious to know if there is a way that any of you have been using your Outlook calendar or how you account for things. Please comment down below, because I think through building a community about this and having a conversation around this, we can all learn and grow together. So by all means, list your comments down below in terms of what you do. One way that I've been able to do that is when I look at my planner going back a few weeks. My son was meeting with a math tutor this summer, and he met with Miss Brittany at 11 o'clock. Now, during that time, we meet at Starbucks, and my son and the math tutor at one table, I'm a couple tables over with my laptop, my planner, and I'm getting stuff done. What I was able to do on my particular planner sheet, and yes, this is all handwritten, but this is a system that works for me, so I love it. I was able to write a list of things that I was going to do during the time that my son was meeting with the math tutor. And this, do you not see, there are 4 items here that got checked off? It worked. So I'm proud of myself for that. And if it means you have to do a little bit of extra writing, it is what it is. The moral of the story is invest the time in figuring out when during the day or during the week is a good time for you to go in and account for your Outlook calendar items in your planner. And you don't have to write all the juicy details. You don't need to write phone numbers and Zoom links and all that kind of stuff. Just have the time blocked off so that way you can account for that particular item in your planner. If it's a recurring meeting or recurring session, then you can certainly put that in your routines as something that you can say, hey, every week on Monday, I'm making sure that I have to meet with so-and-so for this particular reason. Or just even write client meeting, for example, if you know that it's a specific client that you can't disclose to anyone else. Can't believe we're already at the last item, but this is so important. Remember why you're doing this, right? Remember why you're keeping a planner. Remember why you've decided to use a planner as an organizational tool to help you manage your multifaceted, busy life. If one day doesn't go as planned, it is okay. It takes time to develop whatever system works best for you, and it takes time to develop the structure and the processes that work best for you. And certainly you are more than welcome to use my techniques and my process as the foundation for which you customize and design your own process. I think that's the beauty of these videos, because whenever you get a chance to see someone else's process, it gives you ideas about what might work for you and what definitely would not work for you. Also, it takes time to develop consistency. It truly does. You know, there's no right or wrong on how to do this. There's no better or worse. I actually just came out of a 6 to 8 month period where I didn't even look at my planner, okay? I mean, I thought about it. You know, I wondered to myself, what is her life like right now? And what is she doing? What is my planner up to? How is she getting along without me? But I didn't pick her up for anything. I didn't check on her. I didn't do anything. It was only when this summer's crazy chaos hit that I went groveling back to my planner, promising her the moon and the stars and everything in between in terms of upgrades if she would only help me plan my life. I promised her the makeover that she deserved, and she delivered, and now we're best friends again. So it takes time to develop consistency, and who knows how long I'll be consistent with this. As it stands, I plan to be consistent with this for many, many, many months to come, but you know, we're all humans. Sometimes things fall off. Sometimes things happen in life that completely trip us up and get us completely off of our schedules. And that is okay. The most important thing is that you get back up, figure out what system works for you, change whatever systems don't work for you, and you move forward in the best way that you can. Those are all my tips. I hope that helps. If you'll comment down below, let me know which tip helped you the most. Also, what other tips do you have when it comes to how you've been using your planner, what you've tried that you found doesn't work, or are there new things that you're excited to try but you haven't quite figured out how to implement it in your particular life system? Again, my name is Shauna. I really appreciate you for hanging in there with me, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. But in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Be well.